Dear Johnny, God, I wish I had the courage to say this to your rock face, but I'm not that kind of earth elemental. I know you've been fighting again, Johnny Landslide. I can smell the summoning magic on you when you come home. I can see the chips in your stones. You swore to me you were done fighting, Johnny. You swore it. I want to scream and smash tectonic plates. I can't do that, but I can't let you keep eroding my trust like this. I'm not totally ignorant of your needs. I know that life has been kind of sedimentary lately, but I just can't sit by and watch our family unravel like this. You used to be my rock, Johnny, but ever since they closed the quarry, it just feels like everything's been going downhill. I'm taking John Jr. to my sisters for a few centuries. I know that sounds extreme, but in geological terms, it's actually not a very long time. Please, think about what you're doing to our family. We don't need you to be braver, Johnny. We need you to be bolder. Your love, Francine.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Olibrian, come here.
We wish to find some knowledge of an object.
You seek the glass of divinity, a mirror, one that held within it power beyond all things. The glass grants what you want, not what is good.
What was your master's name?
Nex. There are only a few who know this. The great enemy, the pretender, the usurper, and you.
The adventure continues now.
We are rolling.
Oh, my name's Johnny Landslide, and I'm here to say I'm the happiest landslide in the USA because I bought war bonds and now I can say that I'm helping out Uncle Sam. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Danger Club podcast. All morning. Wow.
Hooray!
Daniel.
And who made him American?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Also, I
American
mean,
as apple pie now.
the USA, I mean, can't possibly exist, can it? Can it, or do we have to add that in now as well as the?
It's on the elemental plane of Earth.
All right, fair enough. So that's where Johnny Landslide comes
France,
from.
that's now that was part of the world. So now France and USA
France and USA
are now part of Galarian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The entire real world exists, but only on the elemental planes. So at some point, when this show hits the point that we need to go abroad, go on holiday for an episode. I mean, normally you go to London, but we're kind of in London anyway. But like when you hit that point where the characters have to go on holiday, we're gonna go Danger Club, go to Manhattan, like Muppets in Manhattan, but actually.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen sometimes there's competition? Sorry, Dad, I didn't mean to interrupt, but sometimes you get a competition that comes up and it says "Win a trip to London," and it's like, oh fuck.
Well, it's a little in fact that actually Nex, one of his greatest achievements was creating the USA and France, just so he had somewhere to go.
Right,
and the M25 as well, right?
Oh yeah. No, that was probably Geb. Or whatever. Evil.
That was the word of demons, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
I think that's Pratchett and Gaiman's joke, isn't it? They did that joke in
It
Omens,
is. Yes,
didn't they?
it is.
The M25 result
That's the
of
one.
the Devils.
Yeah, that's his greatest work.
Yeah.
And it's just the ring of misery.
The ring of misery. That sounds like a cream that sometimes people might need for certain things.
Wow, that went to a very specific medicinal place there, Colin.
Hey man, I can make my own cuts.
There's Cole's pitching for a sponsorship deal from the Ring of Misery.
Do you remember they did that actually?
I mean,
they went
you don't want to make your own cuts in the Ring of Misery, man. That'd be nasty.
No, man.
Come on.
There was actually a commercial, isn't there? There was a commercial for a pile cream, and it used Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back in 2007 or something. I remember my ex pointing it out to me, and I was like, "Geez, yeah, that's bad."
That's some powerful marketing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Drummond, you've done it to us.
Yeah, what?
You've done it to us again, Drummond. Do you remember 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago, when you made us fall in love with the mad monkeys that you summoned, and then it turned out that you couldn't actually summon them, and we had to forget the magic magic monkeys, the mad magic monkeys, marvelous mad mim, until now, when they finally came back in. We finally got the magic monkeys back, and then 2 weeks ago, you made us fall in love with Johnny Landslide, and then we found out that Johnny Landslide is actually like a 9th level spell or something. Like, you can't cast that until way later. So he's
I mean, I didn't use the path builder on that one. I didn't trust my tools. I was just looking up on the computer and I went, that sounds fun. And it was fun, wasn't it? I think, if we all put our hands, into our hearts, do we want to lose Johnny Landslide? Of course not. You can't lose Johnny Landslide, man.
It's the power of Johnny Landslide that he can't be contained by mere spell levels. Like, he'll just break those traditions. He's out there. He's like, I'm gonna come out on the battlefield, guys. That's
Johnny
it.
Landslide, he doesn't follow any rules, especially not yours. He doesn't even follow his own rules. Like, it's just a wild card.
Forget you, man. I don't want to hear about your rules, man.
He might come out and fight the boss. He might come out and tell you to drink more milk and then go back to the plane of existence. That's Johnny Landslide. He's just, who is he? Is an enigma.
I mean, I think if you feel that we would put game balance above having a pile of rocks in a leather jacket be part of our world, I think you've been listening to a different podcast for the last 123 episodes. Oh my goodness. Fortunately, it wasn't, because I only looked it up afterwards because I didn't have the stats up. I looked up the stats for the living landslide later on, and there was some inherent game balance in there, in that you summoned an incredibly powerful creature that could have completely skewed the combat and ended it in about a turn, and then had it spend its time giving the monster a cuddle from behind and then getting punched in the face. So it actually worked out fine.
This is why you see that they have levels for these such things, because if you're not the right level, then you don't know how to fucking use it properly.
It's very true.
That's my favourite explanation of that. Oh my goodness. So we are in quite a dark place. I thought about whether we should have a content warning on this one, but we've already talked about slicing up the Ring of Fire, so I think we're past that, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're in the Scriven Borough. We're still in the Scriven Borough. I looked up where we were a year ago in terms of episodes coming out, and you had pretty much just got your hands on the Shard for the first time. So this is a year of real time that the Danger Club have been trying to track down what on earth this thing is that they picked up, that Freya Axborn was taking back to Razmoran, and now you finally found it out. Is it what you were expecting?
Well, I can tell you what, the last year's been shard graft.
Have you been sitting on that for like a year, James?
A year. I've been cooking that one on the back burner. It's well done, that one. It's very well done. Simmered in its own juices. I was just trying to see if I want to pick up on that. No, juices.
We just let that out there. We did.
I did.
No juice.
Ironically, we
still talking about juice.
We gained the shard in the game the same year that we lost access to our own shard in London, and just replacing things from real life that we can no longer do or see.
Has anyone ever done the shard? Has anyone ever been up the Shard and seen that, like, tallest building in the UK?
I'll take you up the Shard, Dan.
This feels like something you'd have done, Colin. This was feel like you would have taught a workshop on delivering bad news to a corporate team within the Shard. That you do these sort of gigs like for big companies.
That does sound like something I would do, actually. Do you know what? I've been to the restaurant on like the 42nd floor or something like that, which is still pretty high up. It's pretty crazy, and it's an awesome view. And there was a person playing piano and a jazz singer, and the food was so expensive, like really expensive. But it's nice.
That's the halfway up bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's interest in at the place that we all worked at that we don't talk about, but we do obviously talk about. We were working there before the Shard was actually built, wasn't it? And I have this very vivid memory of some of you guys know these people. My good friends Alexis and Lydia. They used to play a game called Shag or Shard, which is there's a bit like sort of marry whatever avoid but you either shag them or you get a shard of glass, and so you get the idea. And then when the shard was being built, there were all these signs everywhere going shard, 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 shard. I actually took a picture of it and sent it to Alexis because I was laughing so hard on the way into work about being sharded by the shard. Anyway, good story.
Well, that's quite the game, isn't it? Do you shag or shard of glass them? I mean, that's a really specific kind of penalty.
And there's no middle one on that. I mean, there's usually 3, isn't there?
Yeah.
But this game had none of that. They're very sort of all or nothing goals. So
presumably you'd hurt yourself as well. If you're holding a shard of glass in your hand and sharding someone else, you end up cutting your own hand.
So you have to really hate them. It's important.
We all also know someone who's done a song called "Take Me Up the Shard." Wasn't that Katie Baker who's done that track?
Katie Baker, isn't it?
Yeah,
really.
Thames on the Thames. Take Me Up the Shard. I also have been up the halfway point, Cole, to go up there. The peasants' entrance where they let you up for free before they start making you pay.
Yeah.
And it's great views. There's lots of very well dressed, very well meaning people slowly following you about, being like, "You alright? You okay? Yeah. What are you doing here? Do you wanna go away? Are you paying? No. Okay. All right. Just checking on you. What you're doing? Okay. All right."
It's that kind of hospitality shush, isn't it? It's just sort of like, yeah, shush, shush, shush. Off you go. There we go.
Now that sounds like a job we've all done. Do you know what I mean? We've had to be that person in a job, and it sucks being that person. Be nice to those people. They don't want to do it.
It's true.
Goodness.
True that.
So it's I love how these preambles are pretty much just it's basically fishing, hoping that one day you catch a weird story from Drummond. That's that's so much of what these are. Shag or shard did not disappoint. But what will you end up doing in the Scrivenborough? Will you end up shagging or will you end up sharding? Oh, I'm disappointed with myself.
I reckon it's going to be all about the shards.
Neither. I mean, I came here for a book. And we got a creepy old man, and I frankly don't feel I want to shag or shard.
Check something.
Also,
I wanted to check something about that. He was killed and we were given his skin. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Right. Just checking that's what happened. I thought that was what happened, but then I was like, did that really happen? And so I thought I'd check if that's what happened, and I was correct. That was what happened. So
also,
thanks,
Dan, kudos to you because this was brilliant. When we first went to get the book, you went, so you've discussed your payment, and then we moved on to something else. And so you were going to give us the option to talk about the payment that we needed to give before we got the information. But then we just moved on, and then so now we haven't discussed the payment. So we've got all our information now, and we have to pay. It's like when you go to a restaurant. It's like when you go to the Shard restaurant on the 42nd floor, and you order all the food, and then the bill comes, and you're like, "What's this? I don't remember eating all this food. What the hell?"
I thought it was baked in that we weren't finding out what. I thought it was like narratively meant to be suspenseful. That obviously you don't find out what the payment is until afterwards, because obviously it's got to be a bit of a dark surprise. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was the deal. I didn't realise we were given a choice.
There's a menu, but everything is market price.
Well, yeah. Also, like, if I came in there wanting a book and they presented some scabby old man covered in runes, I mean, I'd want my money back. I'd be like, now hang on a second, how am I supposed to read that on the train? Jesus, I'll get him out, and we're like, oh God, what? I'm so sorry, but I'll finish with it real quick, and I'm going to give it to a charity shop. So don't worry.
This has become us actually being in the Shard now, hasn't it? If we're not imagining like the Scrivenborough as if we are actually in the Shard, then that's the art, I think, isn't it?
Builder is already preparing the Karen defense to get out of the Scrivenborough. Just going to ask to speak to them. I mean, I can, without trying to spoil too much, I can tell you, do not ask to see the manager in the Scrivenborough, in the Library of Abraxas. No. That will not go well. Yeah.
That's like asking to see the manager of the Shard. It's never going to happen.
And if it does, they'll be cross. They'll be really cross with you.
So the manager in the Shard is very, 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 very high up, and the manager of the Scrivenborough is presumably very, very, very deep down below.
It's true. I hear they do share the penchant for flaying, though. So be careful. Make sure you do pay for your restaurant bill, or it's lit to the skin off your back.
If you zoom in on the top of the Shard, actually, it's just there, like in Game of Thrones. There's just little skin hanging up on between the things of them. They replace it every day. very
Interesting fact.
I thought they were jaunty Tibetan banners, but it turns out no, not at all. It's people who didn't pay for the viewing gallery.
Interesting fact: the Scrivenborough is as deep down as the Shard is high. Yeah. Yeah, it's like when Lucifer got yeeted from heaven, and he landed in the planet, and then he collapsed so much of the ground that it formed the 7 rings of hell. Well known fact, that one about the devil and Satan and stuff. Big fan.
You learn so much. You learn so much on this show. I'll tell you what I've learned. I had no idea what yeet meant when Scott started saying on this show. I just kept making you roll athletics checks and hoping I'd work it out at some point.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. If you want to eat something, it's an athletics.
That is peak youthful patois right there, the old yeet. So yeah.
It's been around for about 6 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Peak youthful patois.
Very youthful, exactly.
All right, let's do this. So, you are in the Scrivenborough. You are in the depths of it. You're in this very, very dark room. There doesn't appear to be kind of walls. There doesn't appear to be edges to it. There's just you standing in what seems to be a dark void alongside this flayed skin which has landed in front of you, and this figure in yellow robes standing before you, who you've not seen any of the features of. All of you are standing there except for Fulton, who is continuously running across the back of this shop off into the darkness and then reappearing out of the darkness on the other side, and just keeping going. Fulton's constitution score is huge, isn't it, Ross?
Yeah.
So
it's pretty big.
He can keep doing that
pretty
for age. He's not even out of breath yet, unless he pulls that fumble cover, he gets winded. So the thing lands on the floor, and the robed figure turns to you all and says, "Let us discuss your payment. Would you care to retire to somewhere more familiar?"
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
What about my familiar? Don't bring my familiar into this.
He closes his eyes for a moment. You can't see if he closes his eyes. He bows his head for a moment, and the darkness seems to sort of shimmer and shake. And a moment later, you are sitting in the empty tap room of the Soggy Biscuit. Don't Google it. In Absalom. Where you spent so much time back in the city as you were initially trying to search for the shard. There is nobody else there. There is nobody at the bar. There is just the group of you stood in the empty tap room and the robed figure. He looks around and says, "This is somewhere familiar to all of you."
Hey, Shania, you used to work here, didn't you? Do you know what I mean? You should get us a drink.
Yeah. No, I know how the bar works. Should I go and... Okay, why not? Okay, fuck it, I'll go behind the bar. She goes behind the bar, starts putting some drafts for people and whatnot.
Yeah.
Ales for everyone?
Oh no, they got that fish wine here. Let's have some of that.
Oh no, the fish wine was awful.
I'm going to pass on this fish wine. Okay, I'm already in hell, so let's...
Just an ale.
Excuse me, mysterious figure. If we drink ale, or I don't know, like a fermented dairy alcoholic beverage down here, are we actually drinking like, the souls of dead people? Is it like the brain goo of someone? Are we drinking? Is it like kombucha?
There is nothing here that you have not brought yourself. I mean, like it's a figment of. It's from your mind. It's not pee. That's not what I'm.
Okay, all right. I was about to back out on that then.
Good.
Okay, so it's just like mind beer. Okay, so I'm just going to yeet a couple of these out. Here you go.
That's good youthful patois there, Shania. Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
Oh, thanks
that's
very
not
much.
A yeeting. You have to commit to an overhand if you're going to yeet it, Shania.
Really? Okay, are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, and then you have to go.
There we go. I yeeted that one. Yeet. Okay.
I'm not sure
I feel like I've got my hand on
she's having a nice time.
She's having a lovely time, but yes, I'm not sure that's quite why you yeet.
Yeah, it's all right. Language changes. In context.
She's 300 years old. Give her a break. How many times she's had to do this?
So this makes it. That makes this a a yeet beer then? Eh? Like wheat? Yes.
Yeah.
No, you've killed it.
Yes, I'll have a pint of mind, please. Thank you very much.
How is the mind beer, Dan?
It tastes exactly as you remember beer to taste. Beer from this place. So Shania pours some beers for everybody, and you sit down. What are Ross? What are Fulton or Beelzebub doing with this?
Fulton is running out of the front of the door, and then I assume he appears. What happens if he runs out of the door?
So it's a mix of like he leaves the door, and then sometimes he's coming back in through the toilets. Sometimes he's coming like down the stairs that go up to the bedrooms upstairs. Like he just keeps re-entering.
I keep going through all the various doors. Be like, I'll wear this out eventually.
It's quite relaxing. It's like one of those marble games that they give to children, isn't it? Just sort of going round and round and round. It's quite good.
At one point, he goes out of a door, and Scooby and Shaggy come out of a different one and run out of
Soggy biscuit.
Don't Google that.
Especially don't Google it in that voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Soggy biscuit.
Hey Google.
That's Fred's favourite.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
The figure finally, when you've got your beers, with Fulton still running through the back and come around, it says, "Are you aware of the terms that you have agreed to?"
Not really. Maybe you could make them a little bit more clear.
It was quite vague.
Yes.
Abraxas is the Lord of Secrets. Within his library, he keeps knowledge which is largely lost to the world. What you have taken here is a secret. You have taken this knowledge, and you have taken it out into the world. It no longer has value to Abraxas. And so Abraxas requires something of equal value to replace it.
Well, I have this. And Velda pulls out of his bag an ancient Pharasma idol that we picked up in the ossuary and goes, and who knows who put it there or why I'm still carrying this for Shania. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Caragor was like, eyes open, fully expecting Velda to pull out a centipede.
And he did, and Velda just puts it on the table and goes, huh? Secret.
I love that you carried. Why did he carry this for Shania for so long?
Well, he just sort of forgot about the bag because Shania wanted to keep it, and then she made me carry it, and that was about 2 years ago. And I still have the ancient Pharasma idol, this dusty pile of stone that we have found in the ossuary. So, yeah. Nice.
The figure looks and says, "That goddess has no power here. This old trinket has no value."
I told you, Shania.
Yeah, I mean, this is offensive to me, for starters, so fuck you.
Were you talking to me or to the wizard? It's hard to tell.
But both, I think.
Probably.
I was talking to you, you fuck.
Right.
Still not sure which one.
I don't know. It's just so often. She welcomes me in the morning in similar terms as well.
No, Velda, you're good, okay? Thank you for carrying my stuff. I appreciate you, okay? I see you, I acknowledge you, I love you. You, creepy man, fuck you. Clear? Are we clear now?
Yes,
okay, good.
We're clear, thank you. That's cleared everything up.
Velda smiles and drinks his beer and probably the nicest
mine
thing
beer's
she's
all right.
ever said.
Yeah. So like you want a couple of secrets? Yeah. Is that what you're saying? You need a secret and then we can go.
Yes. And I am wondering. I'm wondering who will pay the price.
I don't know. Who's got a big secret? Actually, I suppose. No, I told someone that. Shit.
Yes, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't think I do have any secrets, really.
You already know, don't you?
He looks and says, "In some ways, yes. For I am only made from what you have brought. I am as much a..."
You see, this guy is fucking prick.
I mean, if he's a prick, then we're all 1/6 of a prick.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it is the manifestation of our individual prickness. So,
although if it was a manifestation of all of us, I'd expected a bit more, extravagant, like maybe a bit of eyeliner, a bit of purple. You know what I mean? A couple of feathers. Do you know what I mean? I'd have thought,
Yeah, I see what you... Absolutely, yeah, I see what you mean.
Isn't it? Sort of,
Yeah, this is the makeup of all 6 of us, then I'm very...
I feel I should try harder, just generally.
Excuse me, mystery figment of 1/6 of our what we brought down here. Your Lord Abraxas. Am I allowed to say that? Do I get struck down if I say that name? Is it a thing?
I'll get struck down.
You're never going to keep me down. I say what I like in the Demon Library. Is it, when he gets them secrets and he collects them, he hoards them, right, gets them all together. Throughout his many, many years and Eon's long life, does he ever act on any of the secrets? Let's say one of the secrets is George Hazenbury kept a cheese sandwich away from his family when they were hungry when they came round on a dinner date one time.
He didn't, did he? Oh, George! It's dreadful.
Caragor just looks baffledly at Velda.
What?
The hooded figure is just George. Writing something down. It's just writing it down on a piece of paper. That's a freebie.
Would Abraxas then be able to eat that cheese sandwich? That's what I'm saying. Does Abraxas have can he tangibly affect the secrets that he learns about, or they learn about? Is God, I guess.
Secrets are their own value. They are the currency that is traded here. They, and the effect that their absence from the world has upon it. All of you have secrets. It's just that they are not secrets yet, for the world knows them. If the world were to lose them, then they would become secrets.
Okay, so wait, you're creating secrets. Okay, this is a different thing, and not what you said at the beginning at all. So, okay, that's different.
You are talking about... Yes. Yes? We have to, sacrifice one of ourselves.
Perhaps one of you will make a sacrifice. The one with the most value to Abraxas. Some have more value than others.
And do you know who has the more value? What the hell? Oh, let's see what I did there. Sorry.
Actually, the hell and the abyss are really different things. You know what? Let's not go. Here's a pamphlet. Deal with that later.
I said I'm a little bit racist. Okay, I'm 300 years old.
Shania, stop with the racism stuff.
Stop being racist.
I'm sorry.
Even in hell, it's not a good idea. Really isn't. Right. So you want someone to flay their skin, put loads of markings on them, and stay here? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're just gonna make everybody in the world forget something really important or key about us, about one of us, or about all of us, so that we'll. Do you know what? You know when we met them people. Them really reluctant to back down people who are really super keen to die. That's those siblings, and they said they couldn't remember who they were looking for. They're going to take a thing out of our minds and then out of the world's minds, and then, do you know what I mean? That's what it'll be. But I'm really interested to learn who you think is the secret, or Abraxas as the secret is worthwhile. See a little chart of that. That'd be great. That'd be really interesting to see. Are you a speculator then? Do you do prospecting in that? Are you trying to suss us out, price-wise?
That is why this secret is so valuable. Because it has a double value. Because you are folk. Because the thing that you hold most dear, whatever is taken from one of your family, will also be taken from you. The price would be doubled in this instance. That is part of its value. But it is not your secret that Abraxas wishes. You have made peace with your past. There is no value in what lies there. Only in your feelings for that which may be taken from your friends. He turns and looks across the bar at all of you sat there. Baba von Hoops.
Yeah?
You have left one family. You have had many upon your journeys, and now you have another. What sacrifice would it be, I wonder, for you to lose this family, having put aside all others before, to be cast into the world alone again?
I mean, I guess that's quite a big deal, to be honest. But, you know, I'm quite a resilient soul. Maybe I'd find other people and, you know, whatever. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
You are resilient. You flit between families, between branches where you roost. You move from place to place with the wind, never truly fitting in. Even here, that is true. Did you not notice that?
A lot of bird stuff going on there, but yeah, carry on.
Did you?
I see. You know, don't
give me that. You
Sorry.
bring up all this hell bullshit.
Fair play. Yeah, I accept. I'll take that.
Did you not notice that many of the places you passed through here were unfamiliar to you? You are not truly a part of this family.
Ooh,
Perhaps you never will be.
Bit harsh, that, because I feel like I'm definitely part of this family. I've been part of this family for over 50 episodes, so...
Still not as many as MZ was.
That is, actually. I've worked it out. I've done the maths. Yeah.
I still think he was a more popular.
Well, I can show you one graph where...
Chart off.
Yeah.
And you, dwarf. You have lost so much already. Lost so many members of your family. And each one has changed you. You feel it within yourself. How much more can you lose before you are little more than the demons from this library? All who are here were like you once.
Yeah, I've lost a lot. But I'm never gonna turn into a demon. Especially in this library, it's fucked up. How'd you even apply for a position here? Anyway, is there some sort of like CV that you have to give to a demon?
I bet it's one of them. They never disclose the pay either. They never disclose that first up. So
is there like a union as well for the demons?
There's an internship program. It's pretty much about who your dad is.
Well, I won't be joining. I'm just gonna find a way out of here.
Wait, does this mean that the demons are just the Conservative Party?
We're actually in the Bullington Club.
Yeah, right. All Conservatives out there, keep listening. We love you.
Tweet us, Conservatives.
Yeah,
actually don't.
Do. Why the fuck not?
He continues to look across you, looks down at Philippe. Philippe nods and goes, "Sup?" Moves on to turns to Velda. You Sylph. You understand the price more than the others. You have from the very beginning. You are the one who knew from the start that you would have to pay. You have felt the fear longer than any. Did you suspect that it may have to be you that pays?
Well, I might not know everything in the world, but I do know that when dealing with demons, you can be rather tricksy, for want of a better word. So, well, it behooves oneself to prepare for all eventualities. But I must say my fear was conquered mostly by my curiosity, and to see what would transpire. But yes, I'm afraid. Have been for some time, but well, no change there.
You are right to be afraid. There is no trickery here. There is only truth. The truth that exists, and the truth that is removed from the world. There are many things that we could take from you, wizard. We could take the memory of him. We could take that letter that you carry. Take the knowledge that you were once loved, and leave you with only the knowledge that you may never be again. You could leave a void within you that would never be whole again. He lingers, staring at you for a moment. And then, somewhere in the distance, you hear the sound of a baby crying, and the sound of water washing against a beach. But it would not be you who pays. He turns to Shania. You, Dark Elf, who fights against the world, who seeks one thing above all others, who seeks to connect the present to the past that you carry. We know what you seek. You seek his face as it is now, so you can rejoin it to his face as it was then, in the moments that you had with him. The lapping of water continues, and you look down below all of you and you see that you're on a sandy beach somewhere in the darkness. And
this is not something you can take from me.
You knew when you came here that there would be a price. You knew that it would be something one of you would have to pay, and it would have to be something of great value. There I can see very little of greater value here than the memory that you carry. You look down, Shania, and you see you have a bundle in your hands. It is wrapped up so that you can't see its face. And the figure takes a step towards you.
Back off. Back off right now.
You made the bargain when you stepped in here. A secret for a secret. Knowledge for knowledge. A truth that can be removed from the world.
Yeah, perhaps you can remove the knowledge from the world, but you cannot remove it from my heart. So I say once again, fuck you!
Takes another step towards you. It says, there is nothing else of value. The Tengu, the Sylph, the half-orc, the dwarf, they have nothing to offer. Abraxas must be paid. It reaches one of its hands towards you, and the rest of you can just sort of feel yourselves getting a little further away from the two of them as they're standing there, as if the beach is sort of stretching out between you.
Beelzebub runs in between.
I was going to say Caragor would try and run forward anyway. I don't know what effect that would have.
Yeah.
And Shania will hold on to the baby Khazar and turn from him.
The figure stops, and so Caragor, you kind of get up and run, but the distance seems to kind of stretch between all of you as you run towards it. But Beelzebub makes it through, forgotten as he was. He steps in between. The figure stares at Beelzebub, says, You are not part of this family. You are an outsider. What value do you place upon these ones who mock you?
They are my friends. And my family. You may think I'm nobody, but I am. To them. Whether you choose to believe it or not, and you will not take my friends' memories.
It looks at you for a long time, and then looks back at the rest of you. There is something in you, Beelzebub Bigsby III, that was not before. Something that is different, awakened in you because of these others. Tell me, what would you give for your friends?
Beelzebub looks at Shania and the rags and the bundle that she's holding, looks at the friends and looks at Jam Jam, who's by Beelzebub's feet, looks the demon directly in the eye and says, My life.
The figure starts to laugh. Beelzebub Bigsby III. It is not your life as it is that Abraxas wishes. It is your life as it would have been. The bargain is struck. The figure lowers its hand from away from Shania, takes a step back, and its body kind of shudders and ripples, and then just collapses into a pile of snakes that just slither away from the robes and disappear. And in that moment, you kind of return back to the tavern, and Beelzebub, you just stagger sideways, and you are rocked. You hit the ground, you come back up, and you look up at everyone around you. And for a moment, you're struggling to remember their names. Suddenly, they're looking at you like people that you've known, but like you have to really think to try and pinpoint their names, and you can feel within you, you can just feel that unraveling. You can feel memories that you've had with them just starting to untether and starting to disappear, and you know whatever it is that it is happening very quickly.
Beelzebub? My friend, I'm losing my memories. I haven't much time. Please. He takes off his backpack and takes out like a wrapped up bit of cloth that's got like a crudely like wrapped up bit of string. Please give this letter to Jam, and I wanted to say that the times I think that I've spent with you, that you have shown me that I have it in me, and that I am popular, and that I don't need to lie anymore. You have shown me more than I could ever imagine in these past weeks. I need you to know that. Who are you? Who are you? Who are
Shania takes the letter and embraces him in a big hug and whispers in his ear, Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you.
Please look after my mother. Tell her that I love her. Who is she? What is her name? I forgot. I can't.
Velda steps forward and just puts his hands on Beelzebub's shoulder and looks him in the face and says, We will. And I don't care what they do to you, but you'll always be my friend. And he hugs him.
Bubba kind of kneels down beside Velda and, You'll always be my friend, Beelzebub, and hugs him as well.
Yes, friend.
BB, if we can't get your memories back, then I need you to know that you're a better man than your father ever was.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you. You have shown me so much, and I am forever grateful to you, the danger. Yes. Thank you, Kara. And you, I can't remember. I will miss you. He looks at Jam, kneels down and goes, Now, Jam, you will go with these people. I don't know who they are, but they look trustworthy. And you will follow the leadership of them, and this man here, he points at Velda, he looks trustworthy, and I must tell you that I will miss you. Who are you? Who are you?
Jam stretches out his tiny hand up to Beelzebub and just says,
I know your face, but...
And he just sort of stretches his hand out for yours, and you reach for it. And a moment later, Beelzebub, you're hit by a great shove. You're in the streets of Quantium, and somebody has just grabbed you from behind, pulled you backwards. You land with a splash in the mud as you realise that you almost stepped out in front of a wagon. You remember having a horrible row with your father this morning. You can't remember what it was about. He was furious and he threw you out of the house, and you just don't know how you're going to make amends for it, and you've just been stuck in your own thoughts for this moment. And you stumble backwards and just fall into the mud, and you hear people around you laughing as you try and pick yourself up out of the dirt. You kind of pick yourself up and just look around the huge streets of Quantium as you stand in them completely alone. The rest of the Danger Club. The darkness seems to fade for a moment, and you find yourselves back in the Pathfinder lodge where you've been staying. You're in the same position, so you're all kind of gathered together, arms around each other. But someone is missing. But for the life of you, all of you cannot think who it is. There needs to be some And that's some pretty creative role-playing, some character work from everyone here. Because what has happened is Beelzebub has been removed from your memories. You know that there was someone that you knew. You know that somebody went with you into the Scriven Borough. And you know that they didn't leave. But in terms of who they were, the details of them, it's just empty. It's just gone. And it's not like kind of there's a trail of breadcrumbs to follow to find them. You know, it's not like you think of them and you kind of remember some bit. As far as you're concerned, in one sense you never met them, but in another sense you feel their absence. You know that somebody was taken from you there in the Scriven Borough. Somebody of equal value to any of the people sat around with you here. And you're left sitting there with that feeling.
Well, so
yeah,
the
back.
So we got what we got what we needed, right?
Yes, the price
Oh, God.
the price has been paid. For the life of me, I
For
can't.
a moment, I thought that I was going to lose him, but he's still here. So how can that be?
There was
I don't understand.
something happened. Someone else was with us, but
Caragor scratches his head, looks around the group, does a quick head count, like a PE teacher on a day trip, and then like furrows his brows and goes, "No, we're all here."
There was always this many, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Velda
This is how.
Velda goes and just sort of quietly sits on a bed and almost more to himself, really. He says, yes, the price has been paid, but I feel oddly guilty and such relief. I thought...
Are you sure? Are you sure
Yes.
that it has been paid? I feel like somehow we got. And now this is just me. I just feel relief. That is all I can. I thought that it was going to be. Oh, I cannot. I need to lie down.
Caragor like pats down his pockets and his satchels and stuff, and pulls out a couple of elixirs that he's had. And he didn't get them from Beelzebub, but he knows they're elixirs. And he just goes, "Yeah." Just looks at them really funnily for a moment and goes, "Well, can't put my finger on it." Puts them back in his pocket.
Is Jam Jam there?
Jam Jam is there. So, how do you guys know Jam Jam?
He was.
What?
He was with someone. He was.
Jam Jam's always been around. He's been around for a little while.
Yeah.
He's just been.
He's Velda's Fox's mate.
Well, it's sort of, it's like a bar of soap in my mind. Every time I try and remember exactly how we met Jam Jam, I can't seem to put my finger on it, but
It's
yes,
weird,
he's been
isn't it?
he's
It's
been
just-
about.
But
Jam
he's been
Jam.
here for a long time.
Yes.
How do we?
You know?
Gone from plagues. What? Plagues?
How do you?
Do you know-
I can't
Delivery from
remember.
Plague Stone?
Wait.
Jam
No, I
Jam.
met him
Jam
years
Jam.
Do you
ago.
remember how we met?
I met him years ago.
Jam Jam.
I met him years ago. Like we were doing. I killed a snake, and like a bunch of other people were there. The sick wolf people, and Jam Jam was there as well.
Jam
there was
Jam's just
someone- I can't
looking
remember
at
who it
his
was,
little
though.
hands, and saying, "Yes, I know you're from there."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you do. Yes. Sorry, I feel strange. There's definitely something missing, but I'm sort of instinctually sure it's not from me. And
Does Jam Jam have the packet that I gave him?
Jam Jam is holding a parcel in his hands, or he's got a parcel on the bed next to him. He says, It is strange, Uncle Velda. I don't know where we bought this from.
Do you think maybe they took the memory of a wonderful day in the bazaar from us?
Well, I mean, having seen that bazaar, I can't think it was that wonderful, frankly, because it's messy. Possibly. Do you know what? And the more I sit here, the more it seems to fade. Even the feeling that something's missing. I'm very odd. Just out of question, is the flayed flesh still there?
Yes, you still have the flayed skin of.
Well, I can tell you one thing. We've got quite the bookmaking session. If we want to make that into anything usable, he sort of prods it with his foot and shushes Jin away, who's sort of like started going and it's like gnawing. It's like no, Jin, no.
Caragor's still going through his stuff and pulls out the bottle of snake wine that he got, and he goes, "Was Jam Jam around when you did that snake?" Blah, blah, blah. And he hefts the snake wine and goes, "I can't remember Jam Jam being around when I killed my snake." And he looks at Jam Jam oddly. Were you?
No, remember I came, I met you in, but I think I came with Bubba, didn't I?
No,
I think Bubba. This is.
No, you didn't come with me.
Yeah, no,
you
knew him.
I went off and did loads of other stuff, and then you popped up again.
Wait, didn't we meet? We met you in a tavern somewhere, didn't we?
We came to find you. I came knocking on your door. We came to find you to ask about something.
So, and then you knew.
It is clear to me now. What has been taken from us. The memory of meeting our dear friend Jam Jam has been taken from us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's true.
I mean, I feel like we got off lightly.
It's true.
Could have been.
Everyone, can I just say something? I just want to say, like, when we were down there and we were saying about, like, and the demons were asking about, like, I could leave you lot and forget you lot. Like, I couldn't have done that. I was bluffing through my beak. If I lost you, I would be. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to live.
You're the only family I have left. I couldn't give you guys up.
It's true, and I obviously I'm very glad to see that everyone's safe and sound out of that library. Of course,
and I don't know how we stopped them from taking my Khazar from me, the memory, but I would like to. It must have been all of you, so I just want to say thank you so much. I love you all so much. I mean, to be honest,
it sounds like it was Jam Jam. So well done, Jam Jam. Should we celebrate with a drink?
Jam Jam. Let's all go to bed.
Sure.
What have you got?
Jam,
what have you got in your hands, the Jam Jam?
Yeah, why don't you open that present? It must be for you.
Jam Jam sort of fiddles.
The string's not good on my hands. I've got no skin on them.
He finally gets the bow undone and unwraps it and opens the parcel. What is in the parcel, Ross?
Inside is some flesh that has been carefully made to the exact size of Jam Jam, with a little tuft of hair on the top of his head, and there is a note in the package as well.
What does the note say? Jam Jam picks up the note and looks at it.
The note says, "Dear Jam Jam, it is your father. I wanted to tell you I never was able to create you in the best way I could, but I've been working on this ever since I've plucked up the courage to stand up to my father, and I thank the Danger Club for that. I've made you this skin so that you can walk around without being in pain. If only I could have created a better version and worked on you more, but this will have to do for now. Enjoy your new family. You have made me the proudest father that I have ever been in the world. Take care, Jam Jam. Your loving father, Beelzebub."
Jam Jam lowers the letter.
Probably delivered to the wrong room, I suppose.
Yes, it doesn't ring a bell.
Maybe I'll keep it anyway. Who knows?
He folds it up. He folds it up and puts it in his pocket, which is part of his flesh, and just goes,
I feel like I was created by an idiot.
and just falls on the floor and rolls around. Meanwhile, Beelzebub, you arrive home. And as you arrive there, your father who stood in the doorway. Beelzebub, I knew you would come home.
Yes, I had a weird dream. Yeah, I ended up anyway. I'm back now.
Whatever it is, I'm sure there were some harsh words exchanged. You best get inside. You've got a lot of planning to do about the future of the Archlords of Nyx.
Yes, Father.
And he waves you in, looks around, and then closes the door. And that is where we leave it for tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Oh,
That was so hard to act whilst also forgetting stuff as well. I was
it's tough, isn't it? It's not an easy one.
You're still playing him though, right, Ross? We're just going to have another bit of you being an Archlord of Nyx, right? That's the...
No.
All flashbacks. Amazing. That episode that you just heard was made possible by our amazing patrons. Specifically this week, Libby Abner. My dear friend Libby, have yourself a Jack Daniels, and most importantly, have yourself a Danger Point. If you would like to join these amazing people and help keep this show going, go to patreon.com/Danger Club Podcast and subscribe for loads of cool, fun things. Help us grow this show. Thanks, Libby.